Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I'm Danny. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from the UK, and all of this week at 12:30 I'm doing a summertime special Facebook Live where I will be making 2 projects every day, choosing summery themes. And we're on day 4 today. And if you're watching, please say hello. This video is saved on here so you can watch on replay. And if you would like a free catalogue, you live in the UK, please message me your address and I will send you one. Now today my theme is a summer meadow, and I'm using, I've made these 2 cards using the Dragonfly Garden and the punch that goes with it, so you can buy these as a bundle. And when I bought this, I thought it just screams to me a meadow, and I do love wildflowers and meadows, so I had to try and do a meadow with these flowers. So I've just repeated the stamp and tried to create this meadow, and I've just got that inside as well. And then with this one, I've used 2 of the new in colours, Fresh Freesia and Soft Succulent, and this lovely dragonfly that I've embossed in white, and that's on vellum. And inside I've just stamped a dragonfly. So the technique we're using today is basically creating a background using the stamp pads and blending brushes that I used on Tuesday, but we're actually going to create a background with it this time, and then we're going to stamp onto it, and then we're also doing some heat embossing, and that's on this one. So let's get started with the first one. So I'll pop that there. Now I've already cut all these, so I want my meadow to be landscape style, so that is my insert. So that's measures 10.5 by 14.9, and so that's my card base. Then I wanted to have a little frame, so I've got Pear Pizzazz for that, and that's 10 by 14.4. so that is going to go to this side, and then this is what I'm going to be putting my blending on, and that measures 9.5 by 13.9. So let's have a go with these lovely colours. So I've chosen Balmy Blue and Pear Pizzazz. These are the blending brushes that I showed you on Tuesday. So they're lovely and velvety, and basically they can create all sorts of things. But you just pop it on your stamp pad, stamp it off a little bit, and then go onto the card. And I want to create the bottom slightly darker. And I want a little white part in the middle. So that might be enough for the moment. And then the Balmy Blue, stamp it off a little bit, and then this is my sky. And obviously the top part I want it slightly darker, and I want a sort of a little area of white just to create the effect of the distance. So and once you're happy with that, you can see it's just round, gentle motions, and I think I'm probably shaking the camera, aren't I? So I've got a little white sort of hue in there, and I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to stop there. So then I'm going to mount my stamp onto a block, and this is in Memento. I'm going to make sure that I've covered it completely. Just going to practice on here, and I'm happy with that. So if you look at the one I've done originally, I've just put it at different heights where I'm happy. So that one's a bit taller. Press hard. That one a bit shorter. That one I'm going to go slightly bigger. That one just there. Okay. So then I've coloured it in, and the colours I've used is a mixture. You can use whatever you've got really, but I've got the Fresh Freesia, Granny Apple Green, Highland Heather and Daffodil Delight, and they all come in a dark and a light. You buy them as a duo pack. So I'm just going to colour in, I think with the Highland Heather. So what normally I'm just going to colour in one section because I've already got one done, because they're tiny little petals and leaves, so it doesn't require a lot of colouring, but I thought you may not want to see me colour all of it. So with the stamping blends, this is the dark Freesia, and I start with this one usually. There's a fine tip and a brush end, and obviously this is quite detailed, so I'm going to use the fine tip. So I will just colour the petals nearest the centre. And then use the light I'm going to have to use dark Fresh Freesia now because that was the wrong one. Light Fresh Freesia. So use the light and blend it, and at the point that they meet together you can just use a swirling motion. This is what I do. Lots of people do lots of different things, but I start with the dark and then go into the light, and then where they meet I will blend them together. Completely lost where right, so I think I'll go over that again just to get some depth into your colouring. And this looks amazing when you've got really big areas to colour. It makes it look quite like you're an artist basically when you're not. So this is Granny Apple Green, starting with the, make sure it's the dark, and I'm just going into the middle of the leaf where the vein would be, and colouring that. And then going over in the light. Stamping blends I would thoroughly recommend, because they really do exactly what they say. You should always store them flat, because otherwise the colour goes to one end if they're stored on its tip. So if you store it flat, which is the best way, and they do some amazing sort of blending, and they're just lovely to colour. So as you can see, I don't know whether you can see that, and I'm just going to do one section because I've already done this one, and on this one I've actually popped some of the birds in the background, or they could be birds or they could be dragonflies actually, so I've stamped those in the background as well. And then I need to have a little sentiment, so I'm going to pop that on here. Now I've chosen for my sentiment, I've gone to the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'm using this little one here because I know this fits my sentiment, and I've used May Good Things Grow All Year Long, and that I know fits onto there. So and I've already mounted that somewhere. May good things grow all year long. So just stamp that in Memento again. Kept it simple. And I'm just going to use the mini cut and emboss machine. I know lots of people are at work and it's tricky sort of time at the moment, but if you're there, please say hello. I'm just going to pop those on there and stick it down with some post-it notes, and this should go and shouldn't move then. This is the little mini stamp and emboss machine, which is really lovely and handy and light, and this will cut through the post-it. So and then it's got a lovely little stitched edge there. So let's put that to one side, otherwise I will lose it. So then I'm just going to mount all of this now onto my card. So I'm going to pop that on there first, bit of glue. going to refresh my page on my laptop. Oops. Aha. It's coming through now. I didn't have any messages before, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. Hello Let, oh thank you for joining me today. Hi Kim. Oh, that's fine. I know people are working, that's not a problem at all. So, I need to then get my twine on. And pop this on before I put it on my main card base. I'm just going to pop it to one side, but you can adjust it once you're happy with it. Just pop a bow on there. It's a shame to be working on a lovely day like this. I know we all have to do it, but and the clouds, it has been a bit cloudy today, but never mind, we can't complain. The temperature is lovely. So, and then I'm going to pop that on some dimensionals. I hope you had a lovely birthday, celebrating your twin's birthday yesterday, Colette. Lovely photos on Saturday as well. So let me just put this to one side a little bit because I want it more to the left. I'm going to pop that over there. And then pop it on my card base. I must admit, it does feel like summer this week. It's been so lovely, and so I really enjoyed doing this little series about summer because it makes such a difference when the weather is so nice. So there we go. And I've also got some little gems. These are the genial gems. These are the mini in colours, and I've just got some of the pale papaya. I thought would be quite nice to have. So I'm just going to pop some here randomly. And then inside I've also done the same similar sort of thing. So I've got green, the green pear pizzazz, and then mounted it onto my insert. Pear pizzazz is 14.4 by 10 centimeters, and the basic white 9.5 by 13.9. So I've just stamped a few of the flowers inside. Don't need that, I need the memento. And you can colour them if you want to. I think it's just nice to have it black and white. Just making sure it's all covered. Just randomly. Leave some space for the writing, I suppose. And then stick this on here. just creates a little frame around. Always need my bone folder, otherwise I put my hand on there and I'm just going to smudge it, because I find the dark colours just dry a little bit, take a little bit of a longer time. So, and then that goes inside. There we go. Summer meadow. These are just a little bit long, aren't they? So that's our first card done. And now I'm just gonna tidy up the desk because I can't see what I'm doing. Put these pens to one side. There we go, they can go there. And then the next one we're doing is this one. So this is a soft succulent, fresh freesia, and then I've stamped onto Sahara sand in Highland heather, only because it's slightly darker, and then we're going to create this background again. So with the Stampin' Blends, I'm going to do exactly the same. This is my card base. So I've got a white, and then obviously I'm going to colour this one that's going to go on the top. So this is 14.4 by 10 centimeters. So let's pop that to one side, and this is the one that I'm going to be colouring. Let me just check. Yes, it's got 0.5 centimetre around it. So we start again with this lovely colour, and I think these go really well together. So again, fresh freesia, put the blend on the top, on the stamp pad, get your colour on, and then blend it. Swirling motions, and you're going to build up your colour. I like to get the right at the top sort of a darker colour, and then it sort of seems like it's a distance thing, and it creates some depth. So that's gonna, once you're happy, then start off with soft succulent. I do believe these can be washed. I tend to keep similar colours together because the bristles are just beautifully, they're just loads and loads of bristles in there. Now I've got a little area that I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to cover it with the actual sort of daisy plant, so I think I will leave that. So then what I'm going to do is get my memento black, and cover it again. Make sure it's going to come out and that you're happy. Apologies if I'm shaking the camera. And then pop that on there to one side. So there we go. You can't really see that area that we had before. This one I will put the dragonfly over it and cover that bit, so that will hide that. So I'm just going to refresh my screen again because I think it's either frozen or something's happened. Bear with. Right, so I don't know why my comments are not always coming through. Now I've just seen Let's comment. I washed mine when I couldn't get more, but I've got set colour ones now. See, I didn't see that before. Oh, I'm glad that's happened, Let. You're converting me to another one. Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time the other day. Twins are lovely, aren't they? Right, so then, looking at my card that I'm following, I'm going to try and do this dragonfly stamp now. So I'm going to emboss this, and I thought it would be nice on embossing on vellum. So with the Versamark, there are two types of dragonfly. So there's one that's the body is sort of coloured in, and there's one that's sort of different wings, a different sort of pattern really. But I've got the block, the body that's sort of coloured in, because I think once it's embossed it will look nice. So pop that on there, on the vellum. Just going to have a look to see if it's okay, and I think it is. Then get my white embossing, white embossing powder, and I think embossing on vellum is just so lovely. I love it. It always comes out really well. Not that it doesn't on card, but it's just something, you want something special, and a different type of paper or card. It's really nice. I don't want to get my hands really hot, so I just use a tool to hold it, and you can see it's changing. There we go, so that's done. Just trying to see your comments. I have to keep refreshing the screen to see your comments. For some reason it's just not wanting to work. So then, just get you up on my laptop again. So I'm going to get the dragonfly punch. Oh, I'm not frozen. Thanks, but I just don't always get the comments. I have to keep refreshing the screen to get the comments. Kim, I know, we need lots of money, don't we? That's the problem with Stampin' Up! And hobbies. But some people have much more expensive hobbies, so I think if it's something you like and enjoy, then I think why not? Just have to spread the cost, don't we? So, Stampin' Up! Punch, always turn it the other way. Pop your paper or card in, line it up. Once you're happy, punch. And then we have this beautiful little dragonfly. So I'm going to pop that on now. And I'm just going to put the wings up a little bit and get some glue dots. with vellum it's very hard to sometimes you can see the glue underneath, but obviously with this I've got the white embossing that will hide it. But you can either raise it up with dimensionals, or I'm using glue dots. So I'm going to put it over this little tiny blob. So if I don't see it. So there we go. Out of sight. Right, so then what I've got is a little piece, a strip of vellum. Now these come in all the in colours. They're just here. And vellum, shimmer vellum, they've got a bit of a shimmer to them, and they come in all the in colours: fresh fuchsia, polished pink, evening evergreen, pale papaya, and the lovely soft succulent as well. So that's what I'm using here. This is a little 2 centimetre strip of the vellum. Just going to pop that on there, and this just creates a bit of texture. So I'm just going to stick that into place with some tear and tape. And then I have used from the lovely Tasteful Labels, I have used this gorgeous die. I thought it was really nice. It's got a lovely pattern. I've already die cut that out, and I'm just going to put a little sentiment on there. Now on there I put "You are an inspiration," so I'm going to do that again. I could use fresh freesia on it, but I think it's slightly light, so I'm going to use Highland Heather, slightly darker, and it will stand up more. And with this I don't really mind stamping it on. I wouldn't normally stamp onto a die cut, but because this is round, it doesn't matter if it's not straight, because it's round, you can adjust it. So then I need my twine wrapped around, and can mount it on now onto my white border. I think I will do that. In fact, I haven't popped my little dragonflies in the distance, so I'll quickly do that. Something about covering up a little space. And that does it perfectly. So then I'm going to put this on to my white. Far too much glue on here, so I'm just going to take a bit off. Make sure it's all central, and then twine. I'm afraid I love twine. I think twine is very natural, especially with meadows and nature. I think twine is perfect, and I use a lot of twine in my projects. I've got lots lots of spare reels of twine. So little bow, and then just that need to move it along a little bit. Just move it along a little bit, I think. And then on here, I'm just going to raise it up with some dimensionals. Let me just refresh the page again. It's coming up. I've lost you now on the laptop, but hopefully I'm still here. I'm sort of doing two things at the same time. Trying to do the card and trying to refresh the page, which is not refreshing. Right, let's see if I can find you. And you're going to pop that on there. Right, bear with, sorry. I just don't want to ignore any comments. Oh, Fiona, that's really nice of you. See, I knew I was probably going to get something that I was going to miss, so I thought I needed to refresh the page. Lovely for you to join me, thank you. So then I am just going to use these lovely genial gems again, and as you can see, I've used the green ones this time. So, and I think it's got a little bit of sort of glittery bits in them, and I think it's quite nice to show off your dragonfly. Don't need a lot. And then that will go onto your card. Tent fold card. And pop it on there like that. These colours I think go together really lovely, and in fact I love all the new in colours. They're all very different and beautiful in their own way. So then the last bit is the insert, which is 10 centimetres by 14.4 centimetres. Got hair on it, and then inside what I've done in there is a little dragonfly. So just going to do that again. But I've got vellum, not vellum, I've got Versamark on that one, so I'm going to have to use the other dragonfly inside. Put it in black. And then just popping it in the corner to finish it off. So today is the 4th day of the summertime special series, and tomorrow's the last day. Oops, that's the one I did before. And tomorrow I'm doing another technique. Every day I try and show you a different technique, and tomorrow will be the last one doing a different technique and on a summery theme. So there we go, 2 cards. I'll show you the first one based on the summer meadow. Oh, dirty paper. Let's pop it over so you can see it properly. So this is 2 cards. Oh, thank you for all the hearts. My comments are coming through. Thank you. So there we go, 2 cards today based on a summer meadow theme, using the Dragonfly Garden Stamp Set and Punch. And today's technique, we have used the blending brushes that are in the new catalogue to create the backgrounds in these 2 cards. And if you spend £20 or more with me, you can receive one of these free note cards and envelopes. There's 20 in there. Good quality card and envelopes in basic white. So, and that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for those who've come in their lunch break as well. I really appreciate that, and hopefully some of you can join me tomorrow at 12:30 again. Until then, enjoy your day, keep safe, and happy stamping.